What's going on, guys? We're back. Just a quick intro to the video here. Just going to kind of show you what delicata squash is, how to cook it, how to chop it up, how to prepare it, kind of what it looks like on the inside there. We'll get into all that. Also the nutrition facts at the end of the video. We're going to have a instant pot recipe where I use some delicata squash, so make sure to check that out. But here we go. Let's get to it. Alright, now known as sweet potato squash because yeah, it really does taste like sweet potatoes or even like pumpkin pie kind of sometimes. So I agree with that. The corn, I don't know where they get that from. Lots of vitamin A, lots of vitamin C. Here's how to bake it here, so you know, easy. It's one of the best. That's usually the way that I go, is baking it. In all honesty, it does come out really well out of the oven in a variety of ways. And then also you can steam it here, as you can see. Another easy way, just toss it in the steamer, good to go. Nutrition facts here. That's, as you can see here, kind of what it looks like in the middle there, but we'll show you more here in a second. As you can see though, low fat, a lot of fiber, some iron in there, calcium. That vitamin C will help you absorb the iron. It's definitely good. A lot of potassium too for you athletes out there like myself. We need the potassium. Yeah, nothing bad, lots of good. What else can you say? Let's get to the kitchen. Now, I will cut it open so you guys can kind of see the middle and see what you have to take out of there before you can cook it. I'll do that here in a second. Stay tuned. But what we're going to be doing with it today is just putting it in the Instant Pot with some other stuff. Just kind of throwing together a recipe, doing some meal prep for work lunches this week. So we'll see what we come up with. Let's cut it open though. Okay, so we're just going to knock the ends off real quick. That'll just make it easier to cut down the middle if we have the ends knocked off already. Cut right through, and there's the color, as you can see there. Okay, and then just right down the middle there. All right, now we're just gonna have to clean all this stuff out. This is just the seeds. If you like, you know, squash seeds or whatever, I'm sure you can eat those. I usually don't, but you can. And this is the part that we're gonna be eating, is the fleshy part. We can cut this part off and steam it, or you can leave the skin on and bake it. I mean, there's lots of stuff we're gonna do. We're actually gonna take the skin off because we're gonna be putting it in the Instant Pot over there. So we want just the fleshy part. So let's go ahead and get this carved up here. Okay, so that's what it looks like after you've gotten all the seeds out of it. And to make it easier, if you wanna cut it into little strips before you get the skin off, you can do that. Or you can just kinda work your way around the outside like this and just kinda cut it off little bit by bit. I don't know if you can use a peeler on this or not. Maybe you can. Not sure, I've never tried. But the skin's not very thick, as you can see. There's not really much that you need to cut through. It's pretty thin. All right, guys, so we got them mostly chopped up. Now, at this point, you can actually stop. See, I have them all peeled and ready to go. And you can actually, in this cut, just kind of lay them out on a baking sheet and put some seasonings on them and get some good fries out of them, which is pretty good stuff. Even one thing that works well when you bake them is like pumpkin pie spice, because it is such a pumpkin pie flavor to the squash itself. It's very sweet, so that kind of seasoning works well. But you can also go the opposite way if you wanted to go more savory too. Doesn't matter. What I'm going to do though, instead of keeping them long like this, I'm actually going to cut them into smaller little cube pieces to go into the Instant Pot. All right, guys, as you can see, they're all chopped up, ready to go. So let me bring out the rest of the ingredients and kind of show you what we're gonna be doing here today. All right, guys, so pretty simple stuff here. For starters, we're gonna throw in the celery, carrots, and onion. We're gonna saute them in there for a few minutes, kind of soften them up. Then we got 1 cup of red lentils. Really, if you wanted to use either yellow or green split peas, it'd probably work about the same, but for today, I'm using the red lentils. And then of course, here's our squash there. If you have some garlic, we'll probably put in maybe about a tablespoon or so of garlic in there. And then I'll show you the other spices that we're doing here in a minute, but for now I'm gonna chop all this stuff up. We'll be back. Okay, so to start, for seasonings, we have 1 teaspoon of, this is chili powder here. And we're also going to put in 1 teaspoon of, this is smoked hot paprika. We're also going to add the same amount of oregano, this 1 teaspoon of oregano there. Same amount of salt, 1 teaspoon of salt. Pepper, we're just not really gonna measure it. I'm just gonna grind some in here. Okay, and then garlic. We're gonna measure out about 2 of these guys here for the garlic. 2 big spoonfuls there, so 2 big teaspoons of garlic there. Okay, and then for the rest of everything else. Now, for flavoring, we're adding in this barbecue sauce. You can use whatever barbecue sauce you want. This one's the one that we're using today, vegan, of course. Sriracha, put a little bit of that for some heat. Cup of corn. Actually, I just used the rest of my bag here. It was barely shy of a full cup, but if you have a full cup, use the full cup. 1 cup of red lentils, as you saw earlier. These are my onions, carrots, celery diced up there. Of course, we have the squash, our seasonings. Pretty much good to go. We got the veggie broth here. So this is about 1/2 cup of barbecue sauce. It kind of plays the form of part of your liquid, so keep that in mind. And then I'm gonna also add in 2 cups of organic vegetable broth as well. So I'm gonna start by sauteing these here. We'll be back. All right, guys, we got this stuff sauteing here. Just kind of sweating it a little bit. Probably be another few minutes on this. We'll add everything else in here. You can actually throw the corn in there with it if you wanted to get a little bit of maybe like a charred edge on the corn perhaps. Not necessary though. Then we'll add in the lentils. Now lentils aren't like other beans. You don't necessarily have to soak them overnight like you would, you know, pinto beans or anything like that. You can actually just do it dry like that, which is good, and really only cooks about 6 minutes on manual. We'll get to that here in a second. We'll be back. Yep, looks good. So this stuff's done sauteing here. Now I'm just gonna add in everything else, and we're gonna cook it on manual for 6 minutes. It's gonna full natural release, which will probably be like 20. One more thing I forgot to add though. I'm gonna throw this bay leaf in there as well with it. That's it, guys. Let me get it all in here and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so there it is, ready to go. Sorry for the shadow. There it is in the pot, ready to go. And we're gonna cook it on manual for 6 minutes. But before we do that, we are gonna throw in our bay leaf there. All right, that's it, guys. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. We'll be back. All right, guys, here it is. Over some rice. That's usually how I eat it. Just like, you know, when I make normal lentils with no delicata squash, just over rice is usually how I'll do it. And it works well here, especially with the barbecue flavoring. Very, very good. Now the flavoring, you can do whatever you want, really. If you want to go more like curry based, you could do that. If you want to do more fall flavors, you could do that as well, make it a sweeter one. Either way, it doesn't matter. It works well with rice. Probably works well with some other stuff too if you want to experiment around. But that's it. That's going to do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Till next time, guys, take care.